But we got to get into something else that was missing. So y'all know on yesterday, right? I had did this video. Okay, let's go over here to the channel, honey. I had did this video for the people. And this one is pop the balloon when it goes left, okay? And that was the guy and the girl pretty much getting into it. And the girl said that he looked like a Ninja Turtle, okay? Well, the girl that was dating the Ninja Turtle, the girl that was dating this young man, okay, she came to the front and she had to get some shit off her chest. Now, y'all know he went down the line and he could not take rejection. So the girl, he couldn't take none of the rejection that the girls was giving him. So Miss Ma'am in the blue chewed him up and said she don't like how he been talking to the other ladies. And let's be honest, she said you look like a Ninja Turtle. Like for real, like let's, if you really want to get into it. So she started to eat him up, right? He over there talking about how he not interested in one of the girls because she had hair on her arms and all of this other stuff. Talking about he don't like a person that's promiscuous and this and that. Talking about he a plumber and he could pull 100,000. Because when the girl snapped on him, told him he looked like a Ninja Turtle, he gonna sit up there and say, I could pull 100,000 out the bank. This is what I'm just telling y'all what the man said. Okay, I'm just telling y'all what he said. So while he over there doing that big talk, Miss X came through. Okay, and she did a bigger talk. So let's get into what Miss Ma'am said because she chewed. She gave us more about the situation.
All right, now that we opened the can of worms, let's go ahead and talk about part one of Watch Who the Fuck You Date. So his name is Aaron. Aaron is my ex. We dated for a few months and it didn't last very long. And let me tell you why. He is like insane. It's like he has that little person talking to him in the corner of his shoulder at all times. Like he's making up constant stories in his head about like that I'm cheating on him, that he's got to watch his back, that I have guys in my apartment at all times, and that I'm cheating while I'm at work, when I work in a clinic full of women, by the way. So let's take it back to
people can cheat with women too, but let's keep going
to the beginning.
You can cheat with
So again, we met. I lived in Arizona. He lived in New Mexico, and he said, "Oh, I have a friend that lives in Arizona. I was actually just there." I was like, "Oh, dang. Well, whenever you're down here again, let's grab dinner or whatever." He's like, "All right." He ended up coming, and his plan was to end up moving to Arizona anyway with his friend, right? He ended up at my house so much anyway that I was just kind of like, I mean, you kind of already live here. His clothes was there, everything. So I was like, fuck it. Just, that was my mistake.
It sure was.
So my mom ends up making dinners for us all the time. We're Mexican. We make huge dinners. And the first time he went, he met the family and everything was cool. But when we left, my mom called me and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "What do you mean, am I okay?" She said, "Well, I see something in his eye, like he wants to hurt you or like he wants to control you. I don't know how to tell you because I don't want you to think that I'm crazy. But I'm just telling you to be careful and really think about if this is the guy that you really want to be with." And I was like, well, I mean, it kind of is already in motion, it's already happening. So then my mom invites us over for dinner again. I think it was the next day, and we play loteria. And I guess he was just like, "No, I don't want to go." Like he started little by little, kind of not wanting to be around my family. And I don't know if he noticed that my family didn't really like approve of him or whatever. I'm not too sure. But anyways, that was a red flag number one. It's kind of like he was already trying to distance me from my own family. Like the only protection that I have had is from my family, and he was trying to move me away. So when I first started talking to him, I was talking to other people, as in I had a lot of guy friends. And I don't hang out with too many girls because sometimes it can get overwhelming and a lot of drama can start. So they would still text my phone, and of course I talked to somebody else before I met him too. It kind of just ended up going in the direction with Aaron. And so they would text my phone and he would check my phone every few hours. Every time a vibration would go off, every time I'd get a notification, he's looking at me like he wants to.
First of all, y'all only talked for a few months, period. For him to be trying to go through anybody motherfucking phone, you feel what I'm saying, girl? Y'all only was talking for and then you got this man in your, what be going on with y'all folks? Just be moving people up in your, you don't know this man like that? Moving the man up in your house. Then he over there got the audacity to go through a phone that he do not pay for. Girl, what? Girl, you was giving him too many passes.
Like literally do something to me. I don't know what was going on. It's just that look in his eyes, and you guys know because you have seen that look in the Pop the Balloon game, like this video that went viral. So he starts checking my phone every few hours. He starts to track my location. I gave him my location on my phone because I was like, I have nothing to hide, right? And I'm always either at work with him at home or with my family. So go ahead and go to part 2.
And we will. But, like, I'm just concerned about the fact that you sitting over here giving this man your location because you ain't got nothing to hide. What the fuck? I don't have to give you motherfucking thing. Like, girl, y'all just...
All right, welcome back to part 2 of Watch Who You Date. We're talking about Aaron, the guy that went viral on Pop the Balloon game. So, anyways, he starts to distance me from my family. He starts to track me. I give him my location because I had nothing to hide. Every time I would walk by the window, my location would show that I was outside. So he'd call me like, what are you doing outside? Who are you messing with at work? Why aren't you working? Like, that controlling, right? Then he starts doing pop-ups at my job. And it got so bad because he would show up in his work truck while he's supposed to be at work at my job that my supervisor had to keep watching me. We had to basically, like...
Bitch. I'm sorry. And y'all, listen, I am going to pause when I have something to say. But if y'all want to see the full thing without interruptions, her name is Pretty Girl Glaze over on TikTok. But that would have had to go on site. Oh, in that moment. In that number. Okay? He would have had to leave immediately. Done. And not you pulling up in your work truck. I can't, girl, that is just, I can't. And, you know, I do feel like sometimes when you're in a relationship for a few months, maybe like 6 months or so, at some point later in that year or maybe the next year of the relationship, people start really showing themselves. This showed you this in less than 6 months. Girl, this is giving... I was going to say Mexican. I don't want to say Mexican because I don't know her. Did she say she Mexican? I'm going to say Spanish. I was going to say this giving Spanish Risa Tisa. Okay? But he giving a black man. Girl, this is...
Everybody had to walk me to my car after work to make sure that I made it. And the girls would text me, hey, did you make it? Again, it's a clinic full of girls. So that was a red flag number 2. And then one time I walked outside to the cafeteria and he calls me and he's like, how did I know you were outside? So that in my head was like, circles are already turning.
Girl, that's when your circle started to turn? That is, ma'am, that is when your circles start to turn then? Your circle should have turned when your mama told your ass, but you know, we don't like to listen to our mamas. Okay, we be acting like our mamas wasn't already on the damn earth 20 plus years before our ass, okay? Some of y'all mamas probably was here 16 years before y'all, okay? But I'm just saying, all right? They was on this earth before us, like they don't know. I don't know why we don't be listening. Don't be listening, like they just, okay? They see when they, you know what I'm saying? I know one when I see one.
I go to my car to see if he put a tracker because he is capable of doing some shit like that. And I couldn't find anything. And then he pops up at my job like, don't break up with me, don't do this, like, I'll change. I thought I was going to catch you doing something. And I was like, how did you know I was outside, right? He said, I put my extra phone tracking you in your car and I left it on record because I was expecting to record you doing something, as in cheating on me or like messing around in your car. And I was like, I was done. After that, I was completely done. I said, get your stuff, get out of my house,
Good for
and
you.
Come bring me my key. And he was like, no, I'm going to change. Whatever. I went home. He was still there.
Because he ain't got nowhere to go.
Let's try to work it out. I was like, you know, he already lives with me. He moved here, like, whatever. And it was going, I was going to do it so bad. And then he went to go get coffee for me or something from Starbucks. And he was like, something's wrong with your car. And I was like, what do you mean something's wrong with my car? He's like, yeah, it started to act weird. And I was like, okay, hold on right there. My car, I have a 2019 Dodge Challenger. It's been perfectly fine. I kept up with the oil. I don't understand. All of a sudden, you're driving it and something's wrong with it. Go to part 3.
Okay.
All right, welcome back. Part 3, and this is the last part that I'm going to post about Aaron, the buff guy from Pop the Balloon game and Watch Who the Fuck You Date. So, he was like, yeah, your car's acting funny. I was like, no. At that point, I was like, already get out of my house. Like, I don't want you here. You ain't paid one bill. You put $20 a light one time, and maybe you spent like $30 on groceries because I was gonna cook dinner one time. But my mama always told me, do not allow a man to come into your home and pay any bills, because then he's gonna feel like he has the right to either stay there or like, oh, I paid the rent, I live here too. But in all reality, everything that I had gotten was mine, and I didn't allow him any part of that.
Girl, listen, I'm with mama, but I'm not. I don't think no nigga, hello, should get no free ride. Period. Okay, but I also, when she explains this now, I feel like, okay, I kind of see what mama's saying though. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they will definitely try to pull that card. Like, I pay half of this, I did that. This ain't just your house. You feel what I'm saying? It's giving a little bit of Jody, baby boy. So, I mean, I see what she's saying, and then I wonder how that would have been with the court of law if he was paying some rent and bills. She probably wouldn't have been able to, like, really kick him out like that. I don't know, girl. This is terrible. But I'm glad that she's set free. Hello?
So, I was like, all right, get out, whatever. He leaves. He still tried to contact me. I was like, no, get out. I grabbed my car. I went to my mom's house because I didn't want him to try to come back and to try to convince me. And that's what brings to, like, my mind all the time. Like, you guys tell people in abusive relationships all the time, like, you need to leave, thinking that it's easy for these women to leave, and it's not. Like, yeah, they've gotten hurt or whatever, but these women are completely head over heels in love with these men, so it's not easy to leave. So I did what I thought was best. So I went to my mom's house right after, and he's calling me like, dang, you're already at somebody else's house, you're already cheating on me. I was like, whatever. And on my way to my mom's, I start to feel that my car is starting to shake. I'm like, dang, like, what is it? I took it to 2 different mechanics that were like, it was the spark plugs, the ignition coils. I fixed that. And then I went to another mechanic because it started to shake again. And supposedly it was the same thing. They fixed that again. So I went to a 3rd mechanic, and he's like, I think they might have put sugar in your gas tank, but I would need to take out the gas tank to make sure. And I was like, no, I don't think he would be capable of doing something like that. Whatever. So I couldn't find what was wrong with it. At this point, I had moved out already because I was so scared. My mom had let me borrow money because I needed to move out before my lease was up, so he didn't know where I lived. I moved apartments. So at this point, I went and got a new car. I went to the dealership and I got a new car. Wait.
So this motherfucker put, first of all, I want to see the mechanics. Okay? We need to see you. Because y'all was wrong. Because, see, these mechanics will run amok on your ass. They will tell you that you need certain work done that you don't need. Okay? And then you be spending up all this money. But they'll be getting shook the hell up if you be like, show me. Show me what you talking about. Okay? I was watching something on TikTok where they were showing how these mechanics be sitting over there at these different places where they fix. You know, it don't even have to be like a mechanic. It could be like you can go to a super lube place, whatever it is that, you know, fix on cars or whatever. They could be lying to you about the work that you need on your car just to get a coin up out of you. But the fact that they sat up there and told you that, and they didn't even consider or think to check your damn gas tank, only for the guy to say you had to go to a third time's a charm, honey, for the man to say that he think that's what you got. I believe that you did have that in your car, because how is your car running good, and then he's supposed to use your car, then all of a sudden he comes inside and say, oh, something's wrong with your car, something's wrong. He sounds like the type of man that likes to inflict pain and then watch you suffer at the same time. Like he gets an enjoyment off of playing mind games with you, telling you stuff to see how you're gonna react, whether it's real or it's not real or whatever. Like creating different scenarios and all this shit. Like, it's giving heavy on the damn weirdo. Heavy on the weirdo. But we actually already saw that from the Pop the Balloon episode, right? She's only validating a lot of what we already thought about the man.
I changed my car, and when I asked him, hey, did you ever find out what was wrong with my Challenger, he said yes, there was sugar in the gas tank. Ooh. So this man that claims to be very godly and studies the Bible and, you know, practices this religion, put sugar in my gas tank, tracked my car, put a phone to record me in my car. And I would do things like say everything he needed to hear, like, yeah, I cheated on you, like, because I was so scared of him being crazy. Like, this guy has a record. You guys don't know that. You guys really need to be careful who you make famous on this app. I don't want to say anything else because I feel like I already opened up a big can of worms. If you guys have any questions, I'll answer them, but I don't want to make this any more parts.
Okay. Now she did answer some questions. Let me see what she said here. I feel like, okay, what's this one?
Y'all want to talk about it? Let's fucking talk about it. This man that you see right now, his name is Aaron, and he was in this video and it went viral. It hit over 2 million views. And let me tell you, you can see it in real life how crazy he is, how rude and nasty he is. Remember all my stories about how he put sugar in my gas tank, how he put a tracker in my car, how he put his spare cell phone recording at all times to try to catch me at work cheating when I work with nothing but women. Yeah, he would do pop-ups at work and everything.
I believe this so much because remember when he first came out, he kept talking about how he doesn't want a person that's promiscuous. He kept saying it. She says, what do you look for in a woman? A woman that's not promiscuous. What are some of your deal breakers with a woman that's promiscuous? Somebody did a number on your self-esteem, baby, which is probably why you got so big and buff, because you thought that's what the girls was really, really into. Big buff niggas like you. But everybody's not into that. You know what I'm saying? And then also, and I'm not saying this is him, I'm just speaking in general. You can have as many muscles as you want, but if the face ain't giving, the girls, it's not either. Okay? Now, some women do like ugly men. Okay? They do. Or let me not say ugly. Some women do like unattractive men, because I feel like everybody is attracted to somebody. So there are some that are not as attractive, and they like them because they think that those guys are going to be the most loyal. Bitch. They about on the same level as the other folks, okay? Just terrible.
He uses the same excuses over and over again. So if you want more story behind this, go ahead and drop it down in the comments. Let me know if you want the full story time behind it, because it can get very detailed, very graphic, and I was left very traumatized. I had to move apartments, get a new car. So again, if you want the details, go ahead and drop a comment below.
Fully attracted to you, and I feel like that counts if we are going to be going through a dating show, you know?
Yes, the feeling is definitely mutual. So, that's okay. Thank you. You did me a favor.
You know, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're a humble person. That's the one that responds, so.
She all right. You know, you're not really my type. I don't mean to be disrespectful.
No, disrespect
you know,
you.
but if I seen you in public, I wouldn't reach out to.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
Y'all want to talk about it? Let's fucking.
Girl, the video is a mess.
So I never.
The video's a mess.
So I never actually got to see any of the money. I remember one time he like withdrew some money and he had like $20 in there, and he had to call his dad or something to like transfer money because all of his money was in a trust fund. But one time he was really, really mad at me, and through the text free app, because I had his number blocked, he texted me a picture of his bank account, which this is the receipt. His name right there, Aaron. I don't know what Pro Extra member means. I have no idea what all of this means. Supposedly this was his balance on one account and this was his balance on another. Now, do I believe it? Not necessarily. Again, I didn't let him pay for anything because I didn't want him to have the right to any of the things that I own, but he would complain about spending $20 here and $20 there. So do I actually believe that he has that amount of money in the bank? I don't, but he is a licensed plumber only because I helped him apply for some jobs here in Arizona, and I actually know where exactly he works and everything. Like, I have his email, his credentials, everything. So he is a licensed plumber. I don't know if he's employed with the same company because I haven't kept up with him ever since I blocked him. I try to close that can of worms, but this is the answer to your question.
Amen.
She said, how did it all start? What were the red flags? So again, it started online. Everything was super good. Like, it flowed so well. The person that you see online there is not the person that I met. Like, he masked it so well. He must have learned all of these tricks when he was getting his record or something, because he was very manipulative, very controlling.
I believe this.
The red flags were him trying to distance me from my family, me basically paying everything. He was very controlling. He wanted to check my phone every few hours. He wanted to know where I was every second of the day instead of being at work. When he's supposed to be at work, he's over here popping up at my job. He, again, put a recorder in my car. I dropped it on all the 3 other parts. Him always saying how much money he had and how much money that he could pull out of the bank, like you seen in the Pop the Balloon game video that went viral. he'll say, I could withdraw 100K from the bank right now, but can you? Yeah, I had some debts here and there, but I always had money stashed because I was taught to never tell a man that you have money or like that you have a stash or whatever. So he would always be like, you're so broke, like you can't afford me, like just shit like that. When he'd get mad, he'd say the most, but then go and apologize and cry about it.
Oh, hell no.
But he actually does have a kid. He just doesn't think it's his, but he does have a kid. He even has a trust fund in the name of that kid. I do even have a receipt of him saying that he has over 100,000K like dollars in the bank. She said, how did it all start? What were the
Clownery and a dancery. Like, what is going on? Hey, Aaron. This is not the Aaron that they talking about, girl. This is giving House of Aaron. Hey, boo. What's going on? Child, this is messy. And I had to bring that to y'all. Now, y'all know he hopped on social media. Let me tell y'all what he said, girl. So he gonna hop on social media talking about all of this is clout chasing. All this is clout chasing got me fired, okay? All this clout chasing got me fired from work. Man, I really love plumbing and I'm good at it. And they got that taken from me. Y'all are sick. They called the company 500 times and are messing up business. Let me tell y'all something. I don't believe shit he's saying. I don't believe him. That man probably either still got that job or never had that job. I don't think the people was calling up the job. Because, I mean, who exposed the job? She said she knew where he worked, but who exposed where you work at? And some of the people called 500 times. Girl, I feel like he said this was a scheme that he set up to come to the people to buy damn T-shirts that he's selling is what it's giving. He says this is what I get for dealing with low-value women. Oh, I miss you too. Okay, we're going to have to set aside some time for us to go and like have some lunch or something or whatever when you're free. I'll be in the house most of the time, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe like a cute little lunch break or something like that. But anyway, yeah, we'll have to make something happen. But yeah, so then he says, this is what I get for dealing with the low value women. I'm hurt behind this for real. This is what kept me out of the streets. Boy, if you don't sit your I can't. And then I don't even want to show y'all the shirts, y'all. He just trying to get him a quick come up off this situation. And I can't. All right. So that's what's going on when it comes to that situation. I had to give y'all an update because y'all know we already covered it. The reaction or whatever got into the video yesterday. So I was like, girl, this thing done grew some legs. Kind of like Fox Soul. And that is